of the Mayor. In case of emergency and any need to exit the building, guests seated in the public gallery should follow security staff and Assembly members should follow the meeting clerk. Members are reminded that any electronic devices should not be placed in front of the microphones, which must be turned on to speak and turned off once finished. Can I now ask the clerk to confirm any apologies for absence?
Thank you, Chair. We have apologies today from Assembly members Desai and Small-Edwards.
Thank you. Firstly, I am sorry to inform the Assembly of the recent death of Ed Welsh. Ed was the London Assembly's head of communications in the early days of the GLA and was very much part of the core staffing body who helped the Assembly to get up and running. On behalf of the Assembly, we recognise his service to London Regional Government and will write to pass on our condolences to his husband, Tony, and their 2 sons. Since we met for the London Assembly plenary last week, the Budget Performance Committee met to review the GLA Mayor's budget submission as part of the annual budget scrutiny process. The Planning and Regeneration Committee continued its investigation into the pros and cons of mid-rise developments in London. The Health Committee launched its report into men's mental health in London at City Hall. And the Police and Crime Committee held a question and answer with the Deputy Mayor for Policing and Crime. Can I welcome to the meeting the GLA apprentices that are in the audiences that are attending this meeting, if they've arrived or about to. Thank you very much. I can see you at the back. There's no hiding in the chamber. MBA students from the University and Law and Business School and students from Cheam High School. Can I also welcome members of the Sydenham Society who are from my constituency, as well as a group of ASDOR members who are part of the London and South East Political Committee. So you're welcome to observe our proceedings today. So let's move on. Let's move on to declarations, item 2. Can I ask the Assembly to note the interest set out in item 2? Do Assembly members have any disclosable pecuniary interests which relate to items on the agenda for today's meeting, or any other relevant interest, including any declarations in relation to gifts and hospitalities, which is not reflected in the authority's register of gifts and hospitalities? Thank you very much. Can I ask the Assembly formally to receive the Mayor's report covering the period for from 26th of September to the 6th of November 2025? The Mayor will now provide an oral update of up to 5 minutes or so in length on matters occurring since the publication of his report. Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. I'm delighted to share with the Assembly in London the news that the Government will be supporting the delivery of the Docklands Light Railway extension to Thamesmead in the upcoming budget. This is a massive win for our city, one that I, along with London's businesses, communities and others, have lobbied incredibly hard for. The DLR line extension, which will include a new station at Beckton, is critical, not just to stimulating job creation and growth in our capital, but across the country. It will make travel in London faster and easier, act as a catalyst for regeneration in a historically underserved part of our capital, and crucially, help to unlock the delivery of tens of thousands of new homes, giving Londoners the opportunities they need to get on and succeed in our city. I'm thrilled we've managed to get this over the line, and I'm incredibly excited about the benefits it will bring to our communities. The DLR line extension isn't just a major infrastructure project, it's an investment in our future and a statement of our ambition. It'll also build on my administration's record of delivery and our efforts to transform London's public transport system for the better. This includes, since 2016, the launch of the Elizabeth line, the Northern Line extension, the Barking Riverside extension, the Superloop and the Night Tube, the construction of hundreds of kilometres of cycleways and the creation of the largest zero-emission bus fleet in Europe. I look forward to working hand in hand with ministers and others to deliver this vital project as we continue to build a fairer, safer, greener and more prosperous London for everyone. Chair, I'd also like to mention the fantastic event that was held at City Hall earlier this week to celebrate 25 years of the Greater London Authority. On Monday evening, GLA staff and Assembly members past and present gathered with friends, dignitaries and former colleagues to reflect on how far this organisation has travelled and everything it's achieved for Londoners over the last quarter of a century. It was a brilliant night and a reminder that no matter our political differences, no matter how adversarial it can sometimes get in this chamber, we're all motivated by that same desire to serve our citizens. I look forward to answering questions later on this morning, and I suspect this afternoon as well.
Thank you very much. Now, I think there is a question arising from that report from Assembly Member Garrett.
Good morning, Mr Mayor. I know we will all be supporting the DLR extension, just as we've also supported the West London Orbital and the Bakerloo line, both of which now look increasingly dead. But you're making a big thing out of this DLR announcement today. But it's not an announcement. It's a pre-announcement of a possible announcement that might come yet next week in ongoing budget leaks. No actual news. There's no actual amount of money pledged. There's nothing concrete from the government. And what this looks like is a bit of news this morning to distract attention from what I'm also reading in the newspapers, which is that Londoners might be paying 10% extra council tax in order to fund the north of England. So how much actual money has the government pledged for this DLR announcement that you've just told us about?
Well, can I thanks for his welcome? I think it was a welcome to the DLR extension, hidden away somewhere in that speech. Look, the government has confirmed the green light to the DLR extension, and as with other projects in London, there'll be a combination of grant from the government and borrowing from the relevant sources. One of the things we've been talking to the government about is lessons from the Elizabeth line and the Northern Line extension in particular about how we can borrow against, for example, future fare receipts. Borrow, for
Forgive
example,
me, I wasn't looking for the potted history of everything that's ever happened. My question was, how much has the government pledged for this announcement today that you've just told us about for the DLR?
Well, the total figure for the DLR extension is obviously commercially sensitive. The government will be announcing the figure they'll be contributing over the course of the next a week. It's great news for London, and I'm surprised he doesn't want to talk up the previous transport infrastructure in this great city and the innovative ways we've helped fund that. It's our track record which has persuaded the Treasury to move on this, and I think it's a great win for those businesses, those communities and others who've been lobbying for this for many years. The previous government failed to give the green light, which I suspect is one of the reasons why he's been so churlish this morning.
Okay, so no news. Thanks, Chair.